Tonight, an update on a sad story we first brought you last week. The man reported missing from Iowa for more than a week has been found dead in a rural part between Newton and Johnson County, Arkansas. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer in the studio with us now to give us the latest details on this search.
And Nicholas Collins was reported missing out of Tama County, Iowa on December 29th. His car was found on New Year's Day here in Arkansas. Since then, law enforcement and community members have been searching extensively. We received confirmation from the Johnson County Sheriff's Office tonight that the body found was Collins. He was reported missing after he had not been seen or heard from since December 19th. Officials say he left a note saying that he was going away for a while. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office said on January 1st, deputies recovered a car linked to Collins in Ozark. License plate readers later detected the vehicle in southern Missouri before it was found back in Arkansas without a license plate. Law enforcement agencies, along with members of the public, searched for days after that vehicle was located. Earlier today, authorities used helicopters to conduct an aerial search. Several agencies were on scene, including local sheriff's office, search and rescue teams, and state police. Our crews were out there all day following search efforts. We spoke with Newton County Sheriff Glenn Wheeler shortly after a body was found. At that time, the individual had not been identified.
What we can confirm right now is there has been the body of a male in his early 20s located in the Ozark National Forest near the Arbaugh Trailhead in Newton County. Investigators are on scene. Newton County Sheriff's Office, Johnson County, Arkansas State Police, and others are on scene. Search and rescue is on scene. Don't have a manner of death at this point, but we will. He'll be taken to the crime lab to get some of that figured out.
Just a few hours ago, Johnson County Sheriff Tom Hughes confirmed the body found was Nicholas Collins. The Newton County Sheriff's Office has now taken over the investigation. The Tama County Sheriff's Office in Iowa says there's no indication of foul play at this time. Officials say additional information will be released as it becomes available. They also ask the public to respect Collins' family as they grieve. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks. Missing searches continue in 2 different northwest Arkansas cities tonight. Springdale police still looking for a missing 61-year-old Gretchen Mack. She was last seen on December 28th. Investigators say she was possibly in her black Nissan Rogue. She stands 5'6", has brown hair, blue eyes, and wears glasses. For 45-year-old Jason Evans. He was last seen December 17th walking east on Highway 102 in Bentonville. Sheriff's Office says he frequents the War Eagle area. He was last seen wearing light-colored blue jeans, a short-sleeved blue and white collared shirt with a grayish-greenish vest. The attorneys for Amber Waterman have filed 17 new motions ahead of her state capital murder trial. She is facing the death penalty for the kidnapping and murder of a Benton County woman, which she has pled guilty to in federal court. One of the motions filed asks for the removal of the death penalty. Another filed asks for victim impact statements to be precluded from being introduced as evidence. A motion hearing, by the way, has been set for the 21st. Tonight, a Washington County Quorum Court committee unanimously approves a resolution to support Northwest Arkansas poultry farmers amid Tyson Foods' pollution lawsuit. In December, a federal judge ruled Tyson and other poultry companies knew their growers used fertilizer that polluted the Illinois River watershed. Just before the ruling, Tyson said it would not renew contracts with poultry growers in that watershed. Leaders say hundreds of jobs will likely be impacted. And County Judge Patrick Deacon says he sees this being just the beginning.
I fear this is a domino effect. It could be any agricultural activity within the Illinois watershed. So what I say tonight is I think this fight's been very good about isolating certain groups to where others can pick on them. Let's not think about this as our poultry producers in Washington County. Let's think about this as every ag producing family in Washington County is now under threat.
Leaders also told us today they hope the resolution will restart negotiations with poultry growers. That resolution will be voted on by the full quorum court at a future meeting. If you're planning a trip to the Little Rock Zoo, you may want to reconsider if you're wanting to go see the birds. The zoo is taking precautions amid 2 state bird flu cases close to the zoo. It's closing down that bird exhibit. A separate exhibit is also keeping its flamingos, chickens, and geese off display. Zoo staff say they'll reassess in the coming days to decide when those areas can safely reopen. State of Arkansas has launched 2 new programs to help combat traffic incidents with people that have mental illnesses or autism. It's called the Blue and Green Envelope Program. The blue envelope for people with autism, the green for people with mental illnesses. They serve as a visual sign to an officer that the driver may have communication challenges. District 45 State Rep Aaron Pilkington, who represents part of Johnson County, sponsored this bill.
When they hand the envelope to the officer, they go, okay, I'm dealing with someone who has autism. I need to be aware that I'm dealing with someone who may have some issues that is not like a typical traffic stop. Because you have to think about, too, for police officers, these are high stressful situations for them as well.
Pilkington says there is no registry with the envelopes and no document is required to get one. Meanwhile, a Lono County community left devastated after a 109-year-old church building caught fire on Monday. Carter Thweet spent the day at the Bethlehem United Methodist Church, where members say it's a big loss.
So we're driving up, Ricky's driving the car, and I said, oh, Ricky, it's not the grass, it's the church.
For Ricky and Brenda Phillips, the Bethlehem United Methodist Church between Cabot and Lone Oak has been their home for years. Church member Joanne Absher told me the church was founded more than 150 years ago. Its sanctuary, built in 1916, stood until Monday.
I got here when the back part was on fire, and to stand out here and watch it burn was probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done.
By Tuesday afternoon, the fire was contained, but smoke still rose from the rubble.
It's more than just a church building. It was over 100 years old. It was so many memories were made here over these years.
The church's entrance is severely damaged and the worship sanctuary reduced to rubble. One small consolation, firefighters managed to save the fellowship hall from major damage.
We need a lot of prayers. We need time to grieve, and then we would get into the rebuilding.
Through it all, the congregation is holding on to faith and plans to gather again soon.
At least we was not in the church, so that was a good blessing. We saved our fellowship hall, so hopefully by Sunday we'll have church again in the fellowship hall.
Was Carter Thweet reporting. The Tri-Communities Fire Chief says there was no evidence of foul play with the fire. The church says it has not set up any kind of fund for rebuilding just yet. Right now, they're just asking for prayers.